New Day rocks. New Day, actually, they don't rock. They don't do nothing now. Well, you know what? Maybe they throw rocks. Kofi and Woods, they throw rocks at Big E, hit him in the head, knock him down, and then they proceed to kick him while he's down. Because apparently that's what they do, and they're not going to be worried about his broken freaking neck, because in the immortal words of Kofi Kingston, so you broke your neck. So what? Okay, so here we are in the New Day's darkest timeline. I needed some time myself to emotionally recover from their breakup. That was the saddest, most wrongest breakup angle of all time. And yet, Kofi and Woods, they're still together. Big E, ironically, succeeded in what he set out to do. He got Woods and Xavier on the same page, but what it cost him was his heart, because man, they broke it, they stuffed out it, they threw it in a blender, they made a protein shake out of it, and they fed it to Ryback. And so now we have evil Kofi, evil Xavier, Woods. Big E is out of the picture. An act that has been around for 10 years is now the hottest, most must-see act, period. I want to see what happens next with the New Day more than I want to see what happens next with the Bloodline. I'm not even joking here. So I've come up with 10 things that I think the New Day should do to just really turn up the heat, because these guys aren't like Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins even, in that there's some gray here, that they are villains for justified reasons. Nope. New Day now, they're just straight up villains. Don't tell Big E this, but I'm kind of loving it. And so let's go over 10 things that I want the New Day to do to really, really be even more evil. So the first thing I want them to do is actually come out all happy-go-lucky. I want them to be like the New Day of 4 or 5 years ago, the unicorns, the everything pancakes, while the crowd just boos them. And I want them to be oblivious of all the boos, and they're just all happy and giddy, just acting like last week didn't happen. Can you imagine being able to just completely destroy a human being from the inside and then just nothing happened? It would be so hilarious. And the New Day, they just go on about 5 minutes, just being crazy and hilarious. And then maybe after 5 minutes of the crowd just amping up the boos, they're like, wait a minute, are you guys mad? Are you mad? And then they switch, they flip it, and boom, we have the New Day introduced right here, their new just mean persona. No more smiles. Those are gone. We just got evil New Day right now. Their first feud should be Alpha Academy. Alpha Academy is the team that actually beat them, that set off Woods and Kofi at each other's throat the week before the 10-year celebration that destroyed Big E. And it was Tozawa, actually, of all people, got a 1-minute pin on Xavier Woods. And I think they need some revenge. And I want the New Day to absolutely murder Tozawa and Otis, both of them, and they can do it separately. I want them to pin them in a match, but I don't want it to be done. I want the feud to continue. I want this to be a really ugly feud. Basically, I want the New Day to be picking on Tozawa, and at some point they go after Otis too, because Otis is a very sympathetic character. Every time Otis has been kind of bullied, the fans rally around him, and I really want the New Day to just completely obliterate these two, and they're going to use the excuse that they're the last team that beat them. So that's the excuse to start it, but this is the feud that we're going to really see the New Day just be who they really are right now, and it's just going to be, I want it to be uncomfortable to watch. All right, so now let's talk championships. New Day have won many World Tag Team Championships, but Big E, he cashed in his Money in the Bank, won a world title. Kofi Mania, Kofi, he wins a world title. Xavier Woods following his boyhood dream and completing it to be king of the ring. And guess who can win this title? Who? You, boys and girls, that's who can win this title right here. All you gotta do is comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, maybe a thumbs up if you can. Also, watch the video as much as you can. If you can't watch it to completion, just watch half of it. I'm just so happy that you guys spend your time here on this channel. Never feel bad if you can't watch the whole video, but if you're able to, that helps the channel a little bit more. But just being here, commenting, that's all that you really need to do. I love you guys. I love you girls. And I want to give you this belt right here once I hit 10,000 subscribers, because I want to become a full-time YouTuber. So it's kind of like a quid pro quo. You get a belt, I get 10,000 subscribers, I quit my job, you get a belt, and well, you know what? You're gonna look fantastic in this belt. Okay, let's see what's going on next. How to make the New Day just dastardly even more. If they can be, Kofi and Xavier need to continue this persona on all social media platforms. Xavier Woods especially. Xavier Woods has a YouTube channel called Up Up Down Down. It's a video game channel, but he often brings wrestlers onto it. So I don't know if he needs to do it on that channel, but I don't want him to be acting all nice, really. He needs to definitely change the persona somewhat, but he doesn't have to do it fully. I get that because it's a separate venture, basically. But on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on any social media platform, he needs to just really lay into it. He needs to kind of learn from what Drew McIntyre has done throughout all of 2024-23, in that he's just savage. He's literally savage. He will just scour the internet just to get a complete savage burn on whoever he's facing. Go to Drew McIntyre's Twitter page and you will see. Now, they have been doing it so far. So far, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston have been in this like Twitter battle with Big E's girlfriend. Big E's girlfriend, on the day of Big E being, destroyed, she posted something along the lines of, well, I guess I don't have to make a vegan meal for Kofi and a childish meal for Xavier Woods. And then Woods fired back saying, good, I didn't want to taste your bland food anyways. And now they've been going back and forth completely. She said something along the lines of, I would be mad too if my career highlight was getting a Burger King crown. You need to do something about Kofi's bird chest. And they've been firing back left and right. And I want that, but I want it across all platforms, and I want it at fans. I want it everywhere. Kofi did something too. The day after, on Tuesday, he posted just a nice, peaceful picture of him saying, it's a new day. And so that's the kind of stuff that I want, but they do need to ramp it up, and they need to go after more people and just random fans throughout social media, because we live in a social media world, and I believe that's one way that Drew got over really good as a bad guy. And Xavier Woods is so in touch with social media. I think he can pass Drew as the resident king troll. Different moves. This one won't affect Xavier Woods that much, but Kofi Kingston, well, he's the high flyer. He does the trust fall off the top turnbuckle onto a bunch of people onto the floor. Yeah, we gotta stop doing these moves, because those moves are moves that fans love to cheer for. The New Day, they can't have nothing that the fans want to cheer for. Therefore, Kofi has to change any high-flying move and, I don't know, become a mat wrestler. I don't know what he has to do, but things need to change. He can no longer be high-flying. Anything that will garner a cheer, out the window. Kofi needs to just be straight up heel, 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 which leads to the Royal Rumble. Some people have called Kofi Kingston Mr. Royal Rumble because he does these crazy spots where he doesn't get eliminated, as if he gets thrown out of the ring, but he lands on the guardrail, or he lands on pancakes, or he lands on Big E's back, or something like that, where 2 feet are not touching the ground, and then he gets back in. Now, he's never won, but what I want to happen this year is, I don't know, maybe Kofi Kingston is in there with some beast of a man. Who would it be? Maybe Bronson Reed or something like that. Bronson Reed throws him out. He lands on the guardrail like before, and he's not eliminated. And we're going to see the Kofi of old, the Kofi who gets the fans to rally behind him with his feats of athleticism, and he's able to figure out a way to get back in the ring. No, he's on the guardrail, and he sees Bronson Reed, and he decides to say, you know what? Nah. And he just lowers his feet to the ground, and he's like, I don't need this. He walks back to gorilla position. That would be so crazy, because we want to see that Kofi spot. When you're heels, you want to take anything the fans want to see and not show it to them. Take it away from the fans. And if Kofi takes away our Kofi Royal Rumble moment, that would be such a boss and heel move, because hurting the fans is more important than main eventing WrestleMania. Speaking of WrestleMania, we need Kofi Mania 2. Not this year. This year is way overbooked. We can't have everybody main event WrestleMania. But WrestleMania 42, I want Kofi Mania to run wild again, but this time as a heel. And I want Kofi to be fighting for the world title. We'll leave the undisputed title for the Bloodline, The Rock, whoever. But Kofi for the world title, Kofi Mania 2, but literally as a heel. We have 2 years to build up to that point, and we can do it. Kofi Mania was only built up from what, February to March last time, or April, so they only had 6 weeks to do it. I'm saying 2 years build up to this awesome heel Kofi main eventing for the World Championship. I need heel Kofi Mania 2. And while we're at it, let's get Xavier Woods his big win as well. I don't know if it comes after WrestleMania 42 or before, but I want the dude to get a World Championship title as well. When you turn heel or you turn face, you gotta have a reason to do it, right? And one of the justifications of a heel or face turn is winning the championship. And I feel that the New Day should win championships, singles championships during this run. Not at first. I want to see them hand in hand together in the tag division. But eventually, within 2 to 3 years, I want Kofi to main event, Kofi Mania 2, but I want Xavier Woods to also win the World Championship at least one time. I don't care if it's for a week. The dude 100% deserves it. I know that's thrown around a lot. Oh, this guy deserves it. This guy deserves it. The guy has been in the WWE 10 years on your YouTube channel, an ambassador, going everywhere, anywhere. The dude deserves it. This guy, Xavier Woods, actually deserves it, and he just destroyed his best friend on TV. Give the guy a world title, please. Okay, so this one's like a two-parter. I want the New Day to win the championship. I want them to win the Raw titles and go on a tear. Nobody can beat them, right? Nobody can beat them. While on the other side, we also have the Usos. They kind of start forming back as a team on SmackDown because who knows why. You know, they have to beat Tama Tonga Loa, whatever the case may be. And somehow, some way, they win the tag team championships, right? And Jey Uso, he's kind of back in the bloodline. He's kind of doing his solo thing. He's kind of doing the tag thing with Jimmy Uso, but they somehow get the tag team titles. Jey Uso comes to Raw. He's going to go do his own thing, but he's attacked by the New Day. The New Day are upset. Remember when I told you about Big E's girlfriend saying to Xavier, your biggest accomplishment was a Burger King crown? Well, that was a lifelong dream of his, actually, to win the King of the Ring. And who took the crown from Xavier Woods? Who humiliated Xavier Woods and stole his crown? Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. And who were the goons that helped Roman Reigns put the crown on? The Usos. So now Kofi and Xavier are going back for revenge on the people who humiliated them, and they take out Jey Uso. Jimmy Uso gets mad, but hey, you know what? They have the titles too, so hey, why don't we unify them at WrestleMania? So we have a New Day versus Usos at WrestleMania. Those two tag teams made each other, and then you have their WrestleMania match, unify the titles. I know we just ununified them, broke them apart at WrestleMania 40, but that was a failed experiment. As we can see with Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, having the tag titles united actually brings up their importance, bring up the relevance. The women's tag belts are way more important than either of the men's titles. But if we reunify them and then just give them to the New Day, who can just be very prominent and outspoken with them, then I think we can raise up the tag team division with the New Day as well. They can bounce between all three brands. Then we get an Uso match out of it at WrestleMania. Book that. And after that, though, the New Day will have a stranglehold on the tag division for 1 year until we go into Kofi Mania 2. This one I'm kind of stealing from Assemble Wrestling, so all credit's going to go to Assemble Wrestling. They probably should change their name. Now that they are no longer with Big E, they probably should change their name. They could go with something goofy like the Old Day, but I really don't want that one. They could do the New Day, kind of funny for a moment, but I don't want that either. However, Assemble Wrestling threw this out there. He said something along the lines of, what if they named themselves the Brotherhood? Because he said that Kofi had said, hey, we're all that matter. We're the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood would actually be a really cool name. So I just think they need to get away from the New Day. I think changing their name will also help kind of rebrand them on this new era. We'll always call them the New Day, but they can even get mad. They can do like Butch and Pete Dunne. Don't call us the New Day. And they just get really mad when anybody ever calls them that. But yeah, I think the Brotherhood would actually be a really good name. So again, Assemble Wrestling. All credit goes to him for the name Brotherhood. And finally, they gotta never let us forget that Big E abandoned them. They got to bring it up as much as they can. It almost has to be like, oh, here they go again. Every chance they get to even just throw a one-liner about how Big E abandoned them, or Big E was more interested in being with his girlfriend, or Big E was just being a baby about having a broken neck, they need to bring it up as much as possible. Almost kind of like how Dominic Mysterio brings up the fact that his dad is a deadbeat. There will be plenty of times where he doesn't say anything about Rey Mysterio, but if he has an opportunity to, he will throw it in there, even if it has nothing to do with Rey Mysterio. Even if he hasn't even seen his dad in months, he will still say something. Oh yeah, just like my dad would abandon me when I was a kid. Something like that. And Xavier and Kofi need to do that as well. And cherry on top, and the final must thing they must do to be dastardly heels of all time is during a pre-show or like the post-show. You know how Big E, he's on the panel now, he has his desk job. Well, the New Day need to come out and embarrass him on the pre-show, the post-show, in front of Wade Barrett and all of his new friends, basically. All of his new friends, they need to come out and totally humiliate Big E one more time on the pre-show, the post-show, whatever it is, to the point where Big E walks off and maybe he doesn't return for 2 or 3 post-shows, pre-shows. Like, literally, we don't get him back until maybe WrestleMania or something. And then the New Day, you know, there's some kind of like clause saying that they're completely banned or they'll be suspended. Their titles will be stripped if they show up at a pre-show again. But one time, they must have a repeat of what they did on Raw, but during a pre-show or a post-show. And that would just be, oh, yeah, let's make that happen. We gotta keep this ball rolling. They're heat magnets right now, and we gotta turn it up. They cannot be funny. They must be book strong. They have to win titles. It has to be justified. We gotta go all in on the New Day right now. They completely destroyed Big E, so now we gotta make it worth it. Please, let's get us to Kofi Mania 2 championships. Just like Booker says, checks and championships. That's what the New Day needs. Guys, girls, please tell me what you think of this video. Tell me what you think the New Day can do to further their heel personas. I appreciate every single one of you. And now the New Day no longer rocks, but you guys do. You girls do. Have a good day.